Hey, Leilani with the Magical Solution here. I wanted to talk a little bit about mediumship, but specifically mediums who can pass spirits, mount spirits. Another nickname for a medium who can do this would be considered a horse. But these are people who do mediumship by allowing spirit to come in to them, whether consciously or unconsciously, to work through them, right? Now, one of the things that I have observed in my years of being in this spiritual community is something interesting, and I'm going to speak on it on a very general, in a very general stance, but this topic goes really, really, really deep. Okay, now, when I observe, and this goes for any medium who might be suffering from the things I'm going to be talking about, but I specifically noticed this with a lot of mediums who are born into these traditions that support mediumship. And these traditions may have, initiations, they may have ceremonies, they may have masses or misas where they practice their mediumship. And they engage in ceremony where they call down these spirits to take over their body willingly, okay? So what I've observed is that many of these individuals, not all, but many of these individuals are wide open and don't necessarily ever close themselves down or dim their crown down. And this I wanted to talk about as being a potential issue within our community. And here's why. So when you are open like this, okay, it's one thing to be open like this in ceremony in order to do what you need to do. Cool. But when ceremony is over, when the misas are over, okay, it is important to know how to close that back down. It is important to know how to dim that back down. It's important to go through certain procedures in order to cleanse oneself and purify oneself before leaving these ceremonies, before leaving these misas, in order for you not to have any issues. But the problem is, at least from what I'm observing, there's a lot of people who do not do that or don't know how to do that. Okay, some of the symptoms that you might experience with an open chakra like that and having all of that information is that after a misa, just in your day-to-day life, you being open like that can cause a lot of issues. It can cause, insomnia, bad migraines and headaches, very, very poor eating habits, very poor sleeping habits, very poor health issues that pop up here and there. A scatterbrain, a lot of wild conspiracy thoughts, paranoia, seeing and hallucinating spirits and energies when they are not really there because of that paranoia, and a whole slew of other things, okay? Now, what does that mean? That means that if you are a medium or someone who is interested in becoming a medium, or someone who already is a part of these mediumistic traditions and are now looking to find an elder, or you are a part of these traditions but you were never taught how to close or dim this vessel down, you need to look for that in someone. You need to get that training from someone, okay? And when you are looking for someone who can give you that training, make sure that they themselves can do that. Make sure that they themselves can do that. Now, here are some of the things that you might come across. You might come across an elder or a teacher who, is really, really good. I mean, really good at their mediumship, really good at mounting spirits, really good at all of the things, but then don't know how to close themselves down. And that elder will then, you can see certain behaviors within them. They're very, their language is very disconjointed. Their eyes are a little wiry and like little open, too much. Let's see, what else? They might experience exhaustion, meaning that they sleep for 3 days after a ceremony. They might experience overeating lots and lots of snacking, lots and lots of overeating. And this is all to try and ground the body. All those things that I just mentioned are all your physical body and your spiritual body's attempt to ground the body because you are too wide open. And so when you're looking for elders, when you're looking for people to train you in these things, these are the things you want to look out for and say to yourself, oh, okay, I mean, they're good. They're good at being a medium, but they don't have that other half of the training, and that's what I need, you know? Another thing that might come in the way about a lot of this is that we oftentimes get the misinformation that we as mediums cannot control the spirits that we can bring in. And that is a lie. That is a lie. You may not be able to control the spirits that are coming in, but that's not the story for everybody. And here's the reason why I want to say that. Okay? Because this is part of the problem. This is part of the problem. When you say to young people who are developing in their mediumship that they have no control, that the spirits are going to come down and do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it, then yeah, there's no need to want to close yourself down. Then you might as well just stay open. Just stay open, because they're going to come in no matter what. But where the issue really comes in, is more of an ideological issue, okay? And that ideological issue, to be honest with you, it can have a couple of places where it stems from. I'm not going to get into that and the history. That's a long story in and of itself. But the ideological issue is this. It is the false assumption that spirits, because we quote unquote cannot see them, and because we quote unquote do not understand how they function, because they quote unquote can come down and perform certain miracles or perform certain things, that means that we are somehow lesser in our spiritual formation, and therefore must submit to that spirit, or must worship that spirit, or must honor or venerate or allow that spirit to mount us because they are better, right? This type of ideology is extremely harmful, extremely harmful. It can cause a lot of issues. If you are open all the time, you can attract very harmful spirits who know that you are open all the time. And specifically harmful spirits who know that all they got to do is come down and give you a little bit of a show. Maybe, you know, spit some fire out, maybe walk on some coals, maybe do a few things, and bam, now you're enamored. You're like, oh, this is a powerful spirit. This is an amazing spirit. I now have to work with them, and they can come in me and... Sorry. I'm really sorry to burst that bubble. That's not the case. That's not the case, right? And this is something that we really need to untrain. We need to undo a lot of these thoughts, because the reality is, and this is something that I teach my students all the time, there are three main components that come naturally to us if we accept them. And these three components can naturally protect us in addition to any of the other, you know, protective talismans, ceremonies, you know, purification rituals, etc., etc. And these three things are, number one, having faith in a supreme something, right? Having faith in that something, and having faith in the fact that that something will not allow anything to harm you because you have that faith in that thing. That's number one. Number two, to have faith in yourself and have confidence in yourself. This is your body. This is your realm. The physical 3D realm, this physical dimension is your space. It is your domain. And when you have confidence in that, it is the same thing as having confidence in your home. You're not going to let nobody just walk up in your home and cause havoc. No. Because it's your home, it's your land, it's your property, right? Same thing. And last but not least, removing this ideology that you are less than these energies out here. These are co-creative energies that you and those energies are working together towards a particular goal. And that needs to be understood as a relationship and not as a submission. if we can understand these few things, that can really help us out. Again, I can go into this so much more deeper. Let me know if you're interested, and I will definitely make a part 2. My name is Leilani. This is The Magical Solution, and this is how we grow. Thanks for watching.